our default setting is our tribe. That cannot be, our default setting is our tribe. So even if he was wrong, now regarding Gachagua is a hero in the Kikuyu community. He's going to be supported by everybody, those who are from that community, irrespective of what he may have said or done. And the same thing with the William Ruto or Raila Odinga.
What's the use of having independent institutions if we don't have trust in them? While we put a lot of resources, we put a lot of budgets, and whatever that they do, we don't have any trust in them.
It never stopped. Whenever I go to America, whether I go through New York or Washington, I still get
so it is still something that is happening.
In fact, my last visit was in 2016 November. And the one who pulled me out now was Somali.
The profiling that you have experienced in the US airports.
Yes.
Is that something that you still encounter with?
Well, I'm now, I've gotten used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, and,
but it is still happening?
Yes.
Okay.
Even at Jomo Kenyatta Airport.
Jomo Kenyatta?
Yes. The good thing is that they know me, so they
hasten the process.
Even in the computer, when you go to the airport, you take from the passport. And then they do what they swap. You know, the passport nowadays is biometric.
Yes.
It's linked to the system. So they swap it, and then they now look you up on the system. So it happens that for me, when I go through that, I always have a problem. And then I can see sometimes when the computer locks itself, somebody has to come and open for them. Someone with
a supervisor.
Yeah, I see that. So I ask them, because I know what happens. It's called PISES. It's a system which is there that locks out those who are on a no-fly list, those who are not allowed to travel, and there are different categories. Sometimes your name is just similar to the name of somebody else who is flagged or on a no-fly list. So I have gotten used to it, and whenever I go through airports, I see that, and of course they will ask you questions, those who are don't know you, and then they let you in.
How embarrassing is it for a team leader to be pulled out of his team?
Yes.
The team are there that claim that he's our team leader, we cannot go without him. And then these people have a different opinion that no, we have an issue with him.
Yes.
Okay, take us some of the most embarrassing encounters that you have experienced in the USA airports.
The first one was actually the first one in Washington D.C. I was the team leader.
Yes.
We were going to Nebraska for a tour. There's a team of I think 8 people. I was including a member of parliament, someone from civil society, our commissioners, and one business person, and they were all cleared. I was the last one who was kept aside, and I explained in the book how I was called and taken to another place with the name secondary screening, and my passport was taken to a computer where they checked. I was released eventually, but the ambassador was outside waiting for me, and everybody else had been cleared. I was the only one left, and he was very angry when I came out, and he actually wanted to write a complaint letter. I told him no, let me talk about it when I go back home. I'll ask. It never stopped. Whenever I go to America, whether I go through New York or Washington, I still get
so it is still something that is happening.
In fact, my last visit was in 2016 November, and the one who pulled me out now was a Somali from Jubaland, from Puntland.
Okay.
He was an immigration officer with the uniform, everything, but he was a Somali.
Okay.
He saw my name and then called me out and said, "Where are you from?" From Garissa. I said, I'm from Puntland. But
I have an issue with you.
Yeah, so let's go for the secondary screening.
Yeah. There is another incident that happened in Amsterdam. There is something that piqued my curiosity.
Yes.
Where some of the team stood up for you.
Yeah.
Back home, they were fighting with you.
Yes.
But outside,
they
were very
protective.
Yes.
Yeah. It was Gachagua.
Okay.
Very good man. We had our problems. But on this one, he said, no, he's my team leader. Why are you keeping him? Because the guys in the immigration were taking time to clear me. Yeah.
My last questions, I think are 2. This is something that you have mentioned in Dr. Kinguri interview, the interview that you have with him. Most of the Kenyans, we believe or have confidence in politicians than independent institutions. Why? What's our problem? Why do we trust more politicians than the independent institutions that we have? Is it something that is it a credibility deficit that these independent institutions have, or it is a
No,
Kenyan problem?
it's about us as a communities. Our default setting
Yes.
is our tribe. That cannot be. Our default setting is our tribe. So, even if he was wrong, now regarding Gachagua is a hero in the Kikuyu community. He's going to be supported by everybody, those who are from that community, irrespective of what he may have said or done. And the same thing with the William Ruto or Raila Odinga. So you will see people going back to their default setting to support their own. And I think it's something which is a cancer in our community, this tribe.
So what's the use of having independent institutions if we don't have trust in them, while we put a lot of resources, we put a lot of budgets, and whatever that they do, we don't have any trust in them?
I don't think we don't have trust in institutions. If institutions are allowed to operate the way we did,
Yes.
I can, for example, say without any fear of contradiction that my commission was the most independent commission. Of course, we paid the price of the independence.
Yes.
But I think you can actually have an independent commission and you can have trust in it. It's possible.
The first, I think it is the first page in the book, you mentioned the reason why you started writing this memoir of setting the record straight.
Right, yeah.
And giving Kenyan
Yes.
a different Ahmed Issack Hassan than the one the media had portrayed him.
Yes.
Have you achieved this?
Yes, I've achieved a lot actually, and I get a lot of feedback from people who have read the book. A lot of people who are from my community, from northern Kenya,
Yes.
actually say that the first chapter
Yes.
describes their own life also. The way, I was in boarding school, I talk about our livestock herding, all that. I think they tell me that's our life you have described. So a lot of the stories in the book is about that. Also, many Kenyans, I go in the supermarkets, I go to town, I walk, people stop me and tell me, those who have read the book, say that we now have a very good understanding of what you went through. And a lot of them actually, some appreciate the work I've did. I've seen many Kenyans shake my hand and say, thank you for your service. We have read the book. We now know what you have gone through. And some are very actually surprised that I'm still standing.
Yes.
I had gone through all that and I'm still coming to talk about it. We don't have chairmen of commissions who are able to come and talk about their experience and then still be here to defend their office.
I wanted that to be the last question, but I will not be doing fair to your colleagues,
Yes.
especially Dr. Anil and Dr. William. How did you convince them to write you the foreword and the introduction?
Dr. Anil Phil is a professor of history, University of Cambridge. But he's also, I have said in the book,
Yes.
he's also the director of the Commonwealth election support system there. And I went to two of them because one is the American market and one is the Commonwealth, which is, so I got the William Sweeney to do for me the introduction, and he was the former president of the IFES, which is an American-based NGO which works across the world, including Kenya. And so the two of them, it was to give the book a profile bigger than Kenya. In the book, you will see that I've got also other Kenyans to give their comments. My lawyers, for example, editors, they read the book, and also former chairmen of electoral commission from like India, Nigeria, and all that. But this too was meant to also lift the profile of the book, to make it international.
Is the book generating you revenue? How many copies have you sold so far?
I do not publish the book to make money. Initially, it's very clear to everyone that it was meant to say my truth and set the record straight, which I have done. The book is 2,500 shillings. I know some bookshops are selling it for 4,000. 4,000. But I not authorize that. The authorized sale is 2,500 and it's sold by Nuria Bookshop through my publisher, Mr. Nganga Bugwa. And yes, we have made money from it. I think it's only now that I'm making money, because initially
Yes.
I spent money on it. You see, I had to employ journalists to do research, to do background checks. Even the printing costs was a lot of money. So I have more or less now kind of recovered all the, not to make profits, but just barely
the
recovering the cost. Yeah.
Do you have the number of copies that have been sold so far?
I published 2,500 in May last year, and then it was finished in December. And January this year, January, February, I published another 2,000. So in total, we have 4,500. And in the market now is about 1,000 copies are left. So we have sold 3,500, and more than 200 were not even sold. They were giving out as gratia by two people who are very important in the book.